Thank you, Your Honor. This is Rebecca Kaus again on behalf of Sen Manufacturing Company offering our rebuttal to the plaintiff's arguments. Plaintiff seems to be arguing two main components. The first is that the arbitral clause is invalid due to a one-sided nature of the clause. And the second is that the complaint falls outside of the scope of the arbitral clause because the complaints are not related to employment. To address the first issue of the validity of the arbitral clause, plaintiff argues that the clause is one-sided. However, plaintiff fails to acknowledge that he entered into an at-will employment agreement with Sen Manufacturing Company. Therefore, he voluntarily signed this agreement. He voluntarily agreed to this arbitral clause to settle disputes. He was not imposed to do this. He had a choice to enter into this agreement or not. The arbitral clause stands. If this is the argument that's going to be accepted by the court, then no arbitral clause will ever stand, because in any dispute that is brought, the plaintiff or the disputant can always claim that the agreement is somehow unfair to them. So the arbitral clause was entered voluntarily, knowingly, willingly, and it should stand on that basis. To address the issue of scope, plaintiff makes claims on each of the three counts that they do not have to do with employment. Again, reading clause 9A, the arbitral agreement says that any claim for money damage relating to my employment with the company, which involves the company and or its affiliates. So this is any claim involving monetary damages relating to the employment. So while plaintiff argues that this is in fact a criminal context and a whistleblower context, those issues still related to his employment with Sen Manufacturing Company. Therefore, it is covered under the scope of the arbitral clause. In addition to that, the whistleblower count is very much related to employment. That is nothing but an employment issue, is the whistleblower clause. So that very clearly falls under the arbitral condition of being related to employment. The criminal activity and assaults, plaintiff argues that criminal activity cannot be arbitrated. Sen Manufacturing Company is a corporation. A corporation cannot commit assault. The corporation can't be liable in a criminal context. So any disputes that happen, physical, verbal, or otherwise with any of their affiliates or employees, is held under the context of the employment with that company. As well, the wrongful termination count is related, most obviously, to employment and is covered under that arbitral clause. Again, plaintiff was employed at will. There is no wrongful termination. He was terminated as course of his at-will employment. So Sen Manufacturing Company feels and argues that not only is the arbitral clause valid, but all three counts are within the scope of arbitration and the arbitral clause, and this should move forward into arbitration. Thank you.